Conference Championship Week in the Big 12. BYU and Texas Tech, and I have the best bets from player props to who will win the game and how it will happen, all right here on Locked On Big 12.
You are Locked On Big 12, your daily podcast on the Big 12 Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to Locked On Big 12. I'm Drake Toll from America's #1 Big 12 podcast, Locked On Big 12. Thank you for making this show your first listen every single day, and you can follow along. Just a new job. I'm not leaving. Locked On Big 12, but now 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. starting December 29th on Westwood 1. I'll get you to work. Jim Rome will get you home. Pretty cool. Let's go through the best bets in the Big 12 this week between BYU and Texas Tech in the conference championship game. If you hit subscribe, I get to keep my job. We'll kick it off with BYU plus 12.5. The line sits at 12.5. It moved up to 13.5 and then right back down. I think what that means is the money, the sharp bettors are leaning toward BYU a little bit more in this matchup than they did in the initial game, and don't necessarily think that Tech winning was a fluke, but them winning by 22 points isn't indicative of how this game will go. Keep in mind, BYU is still one of the most efficient teams in the country. Net EPA per play, number 18 in America. Offensive success, number 20 in the country. They have the number 41 defensive success in America, and their net EPA per drive is number 14 in the country. That is good. The BYU offense has been there. The BYU defense, especially against the pass, has been there. And against Texas Tech, it was there. They sacked Baron Morton 4 times. There is a chance BYU wins the game outright. It doesn't have to take a Herculean, remember that time that Oklahoma lost to Boise State? No, there's a real chance that BYU can win this game outright against Texas Tech, leaning on their defense and the pressure they got on Baron Morton the first time if Morton makes a mistake or two. Now, he didn't in Lubbock. Does he do it in a neutral site? Does he do it at AT&T Stadium? Do the lights get bright in Texas Tech's first conference championship game? Now, you could ask the same question for BYU, and those questions are fair. I think it stays close. Even if Tech wins, I think it stays close. Now, best bet number 2. Here are the player props. I think Bear Bachmeier scores a touchdown. So what you'll see on my best bets here are that they are swayed in the direction mostly of BYU because that's where the juice is. And what I mean by that is the best way for us to win money is to find a line that has like plus 190. So $100 on a Bear Bachmeier touchdown. And what I'll end up doing is putting that $100 down and I'll win $190 for betting that. Now, if it was minus 200, I'd put $100 down and only win $50. So I want this to make sense for all of us. I think Bear Bachmeier scores a touchdown. This year, he has been more reliant on his legs than his arm. And obviously, he's thrown the ball a whole lot more than he's ran the ball. But his ability to run the football is what's made him so elusive, despite his age. 137 carries, 529 yards, 11 touchdowns. He averages a score a game on the ground. I think it's an emphasis to get Bear in the end zone with his legs. Plus 190. I'm going to take that for BYU. I'm also going to take, I do think BYU can score 2 touchdowns. They only scored 1 the first time, but I wouldn't be shocked if they scored 2 touchdowns. Parker Kingston to score is plus 200. Same thing. You put $100 down on Parker Kingston to score a touchdown. When he scores that touchdown, you'll win $200. This is the evolution of how BYU is utilizing Kingston. He is the team's leader in receiving yards. He has 804 this year. 5 touchdowns receiving is not a ton. And last week, he got a punt return touchdown that this is, hey, we're so back, BYU, special teams, that factors into this. If he scores a touchdown, like he did through the air against UCF as well as the punt return, if he scores a touchdown on a punt return or somewhere in special teams, that also counts toward him being in the category of a touchdown scorer as it pertains to the plus 200. If Kingston runs the football, he has 3 rushing touchdowns this season. He gets a touchdown. So his 9 scores this year, from receiving to punt return to running the football, those all point to him being utilized so much more that he will score this week in Arlington. Give me Parker Kingston touchdown as another one of my best bets this week in the game between BYU and Texas Tech. Today's show is brought to you by Aura Frames. Pause it real quick, and before I give you the rest of the best bets, Aura Frames is the perfect gift to give grandma, mom, anybody who you love. Endless uploads of pictures and 30-second videos to the Aura app. You give them the Aura Frame, and then from wherever you are in the world, you could upload pictures and videos to display for your loved ones. So, there's like the normal frames that aren't plug it into the wall, and those don't give you any juice. Like they just stay there. It's still. And the Aura Frame is cool because you get to upload pictures every day whenever you want. AuraFrames.com, AURA frames.com, $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames. Named number one by Wirecutter. Promo code college, all caps college, my promo code. Aura Frames, terms and conditions apply. Today's show is also brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel's where you go to place these best bets. It's where I'm going to go to place these best bets. And it's why I think all of these things will happen are predicated on FanDuel's lines. So you'll go to FanDuel, you see what the line is, and I think, okay, it's a good line for me. I think Parker Kingston does that. That's what I'm utilizing to ensure that I place these bets for BYU plus 12.5, for Bear Bachmeier touchdown. The NFL is here as well. FanDuel is the best place to stay active in the game. If you're a Cincinnati fan, if you're an Arizona fan, a Colorado fan watching the game this weekend, it helps you stay in the game. It makes it even more fun for me to watch the game with a bit of a vested interest in who is going to win. I invest. That's what I call it. I invest in these games. FanDuel.com is exactly where you will go. All right, final two best bets of our day. This one's the long shot. It is field goals. On FanDuel right now, you can select a game prop, one field goal per quarter. It doesn't have to be Texas Tech. It doesn't have to be BYU. It is combined. So let's say BYU kicks one in the first quarter and the second quarter, Texas Tech in the third and the fourth. One field goal kicked by either team per quarter. So 4 total field goals is plus 1,100. So that it's $100 to win $1,100 or $10 to win $110. I'm not going to unload the bank account on this one, but it's juicy. Plus 1,100. Texas Tech kicked 5 field goals the first time these two teams squared off. Will Farron missed a field goal. There's an opportunity for 6 to be kicked in total. That's why I think this as juicy as it is, has some oomph. These teams are not great in the red zone. Texas Tech's not great in the red zone. They're going to kick field goals. They themselves could kick one every quarter. I'm going to go at plus 1,100. I'm going to win some money on that prop. Give me one field goal in each quarter from either team. And then Cameron Dickey touchdown, minus 260. So again, this is where the juice conversation comes in. Minus 260 is not good. I put $260 in there to win $100. I don't want to do that. What I do want to utilize this for, I think Cameron Dickey's almost surefire will score a touchdown. This is a parlay piece. You add it into BYU money line. You add it into BYU covering the spread or Texas Tech covering the spread. You add in that minus 260. It gives you an extra $50 on the end. $25 on the end is something that I do believe is going to happen in this game. So I'm utilizing Dickey as a parlay piece. Give me BYU plus 12.5. Give me Bear Bachmeier to score a touchdown at plus 190. Parker Kingston to score a touchdown at plus 200. Cameron Dickey to score a touchdown at minus 260 as a parlay piece for you. And one field goal per quarter. That's 4 field goals, 1 in each quarter from either team at plus 1,100 as your long shot. Toss it up from half court. Hope it goes in. And when it does, we're all rich. So those are the best bets in the Big 12 for the Big 12 championship game to elevate your viewing experience. Again, you can place all of those at FanDuel. Tonight, the squad show will release. We get inside information from Chris Level going into this game. We talk about Kalani Sitake almost leading BYU and how the Big 12 can position itself to get 2 teams still into the college football playoff. This has been It Always Will Be Locked On. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. Dose Grande.